good to be running again. I'm not even kidding you. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my podcast idea and where it's at. But before I get started on that, I need to go for a run. It's been a while of not knowing what the hell's going on. Well, this happened. It looks like it's a slight tear in your meniscus. So yeah, a bit of a bummer. I've not ran on this knee for nearly 4 weeks now, and it's been doing me head in. I was due to go back to running last Monday, but the knee was still quite sore even after a walk. So I thought, give it another week, see how you feel. And it has been feeling alright, so I thought, why not give it a test run tonight? And I have. The route, it was just basically top of the woods, near mine, run right through this gorgeous little trail, go to the other side, touch the kissing gate, and then come back on myself. Just like that. And it feels fine. So I'm quite happy with the progression, although I admit I haven't done much exercise since, which that's already a big X on my 2018 goals, where I said I'd do an S&C session at least once a week. I haven't done one for 3 weeks, which is really bad. I'm just glad to be back running because I've missed it so much. But this is not the reason why I'm making this video. There's a main reason for this, and you've probably seen it in the title, and that's to talk about the podcast. So I'm going to go back to my house. 2 seconds. It is so good to be back running again. I can't tell you how happy I am. But that aside, I want to talk about the podcast. It's really exciting. I'm looking forward to getting started with it. At the minute, the podcast is just a bunch of ideas up here that I need to put on a piece of paper and then work out how I'm going to do it. I've had words with people who want to feature on the podcast. They are up for it. I'm not going to say anything just yet. In terms of recording it, I think I'm going to stick with the phone for the time being. That's the equipment that I used to record the other podcasts. I'm also going to try and use this camera. I'm in two minds whether to have it as a video podcast and an audio podcast. I need to experiment a little bit and do some testing with it. How it's going to be different to what you listen to the other podcasts, like the fantastic marathon talk and running commentary, and I can't think of any more podcasts off the top of my head. I want to base the podcasts on asking the questions that no one asks. See, I want to ask questions that's going to have people listening to it and go, oh yeah, I've always wanted to talk about that, but I've not known how to. And I've been talking with folk on what questions to ask and how I could ask these and if it's okay, and they've all agreed to say, yeah, you should do this because no one ever asks it. So in terms of scheduling, I was thinking to start off with maybe 1 a month, and then if it gets popular, maybe 2 a month, and eventually, if it gets even more popular, maybe 1 a week. Just for the time being, I want to get my head around talking to the guests, editing it, and then putting it out there via a podcast host or YouTube and iTunes. I'm not quite sure what the timing's like in terms of going on a host to iTunes. I mean, when I did it with SoundCloud, it took like a day, maybe hours, so I could maybe bump it up to 2 a month. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. We'll see how the first couple go. The podcast, it's come alive along with the JNR movie. Christ, I'm going to be busy this summer. But let us know what you think. I'm going to put a poll up here and see what you think. If it's a good idea or a bad idea, let us know. I know, like I mentioned, there's some great podcasts for runners out there. I don't want to see them as a rival. I kind of want to see it as a bit of a podcast community. We'll see. But anyways, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you next week.